All right, we are live. Hello and welcome, everyone. And we are at our Sunday evening show, which is our 51st episode of the JVology show. And I am thrilled, first and foremost, to be with you tonight in terms of our upcoming 5 partners in 5 days Joint Venture Jumpstart Challenge. And a couple of things about this is that I am happy to answer any questions because I want to just prepare people to get the most out of these next 5 days. And if you want to, number one, ask me any questions or clarify anything, all you need to do is to make sure you're on the actual broadcast page. And what you should do for that is just like click on the video. It will take you over to the broadcast page, and then you can say hello, let me know where you're from. If you have any questions or anything you need to know as we go through this process, you can feel free. Now, on that note, I will just say hello. Tell me where you're from. Now, our purpose here today is pretty simple and straightforward. What we're going to do is we are going to talk a little bit about the overview of the 5-day challenge. I am going to do my very best to prepare you with some tips and tricks that make all the difference in the world in terms of you, frankly, knocking it out of the park, because most of you can actually do way more than 5 partners in these 5 days. Literally we have an example where somebody had 32 partners in the last couple of days, which is in the last challenge, in those 5 days. So we're going to go through all that. I will answer any questions, which is why if you want to do so, you've got to get over here and make sure you're in the proper chat window and say hello. And once we get through that, then we're going to cut you back loose to get yourself thinking and ready to start the challenge tomorrow. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to play our little intro video, and I'll be right back. All right, gang, we are back. So first and foremost, we are going to be jumping into the 5 partners in 5 days JV Jumpstart Challenge. And just want to make sure I got a couple of people sending me notes outside of this, so I just want to be clear that it's all good. If you can bear with me a second. There we go. It's going to take a moment. Now, while we're waiting for that to load, my shared video my second video screen just went dead. Oh, well, no worries. So let's just talk briefly about the challenge. And what's going to transpire is that you are going to embark upon a 5-day, super fast, incredibly powerful, deep training that's also free, that is going to look a little bit like this. Every single day, you are going to get an email. In that email, there is a video, and that video has a bit of training. It has a bit of a structure to it. It tells you what we're going to be dealing with that day. There's generally a little worksheet. That little worksheet is going to guide you in terms of integrating what the lesson is. And then we're going to ask you to do one simple task. And it's not complex. It's not that difficult. And if you do the tasks every single day, what you will discover is that the momentum that actually gets moving and shaken in the process will, frankly, transform your life and your business. Now, a couple of things. If you have not already registered for the JV Jumpstart Challenge, you should. So www.jvology.com/jumpstart. So you just run over there, get yourself registered. You're going to get all of the instructions and all of those pieces. Now, here's the deal. Video, worksheet, quick action, and then you're going to go to the Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, you are going to actually take a moment or two to share what we ask you to share about the action you took. Now, here's the beautiful part about this. This whole thing will take you somewhere in the midst of, say, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, if you're a little distracted perhaps. But even better than that, what will transpire is that when you're over in the Facebook group, you're going to be interacting with quite literally another couple of hundred people who are just like you looking for JV partners. Now, not only are they looking for JV partners, the best part about it is, number one, there's a shared language. Number two, you're all working on the same activities at the same time. Number three, you're all there for exactly the same purpose, which is to create joint venture partners. And in that process, here's what happens. You will begin to identify people who are exactly right for you. Now, I'll give you a brief little, bribe, to be frank, in terms of you actually doing the activities. So when you go to the Facebook page, what's going to transpire is you're going to make a little post. But I want you to be clear about every single day when we take all of the people that made their posts and we enter you in a draw for a $25 Amazon gift certificate. So we're happy to incent that action. And then every single person who's in the challenge, who has done every single day, at the end of the process will get entered into a draw for what we call the Joint Venture Success System. And that is a value of over $12,000. And we are going to give one of them away to one of you. So the incentives are incredibly powerful. Outside of the training, outside of the support, outside of the community, outside of the partners we're going to deliver, we're also going to give a ton of free prizes. So make sure, if you're going to do this, see it all the way through. You will be astounded what transpires. Now, at a high level, what I want you to understand is that there are 5 days, 5 incredibly important topics for this process. We start with mindset. So this is what it is that actually gets you moving and shaking and gets your head in the right space. Then we're going to do platforms and resources, because what I hear time and again is like, my list isn't big enough. I don't have anybody to JV with. I'm not ready to do this process. And I got to tell you, all those things are not true. In fact, they're epically and utterly, completely false. And we will show you how and tell you what to do about it. Then we go to our proprietary model of upstream and downstream partners. I'm not going to say too much about this, but I can tell you this. I hear from people all the time who are, joint venture experts. It's like, oh my God, when I understood upstream and downstream, it absolutely changed my world. It changed my business. It changed my life. So you want to stick around for that. And then on the 5th day, you are going to craft and practice your JV invitation. And you see it all the way through and you do it in those orders. You are going to be astounded at what transpires. So a couple of things. First and foremost is that the more people who get JVs and want to do JVs, the better for all of us in our businesses. So when you get registered, if you haven't already, I would strongly suggest, and you can see it over here, I'm just going to get it brought up. Give me 1 second. Come on, machine, operate. That's going to work the way that it's supposed to. Technology is a grand and marvelous thing when it works. Sometimes it does not, but that is fine. We will always find a workaround for it. Okay. I want to just show you the registration page, and this is where you're going to go and get yourself logged in and ready for the challenge. And the reason I want to show you this page is that it has some really fantastic quotes about it. So JVology.com/jumpstart. If you haven't already registered, go get registered. If you have registered already, I want you to go and I want you to share it with people that you think it would be valuable for them to have this experience. And by the way, I want to just give you an idea about how awesome this is. And these are things that people posted about the last challenge. This, by the way, is one of my favorites. Kimberly Hobscheid. Holy cow, Jay's 5-day challenge put joint venturing on the map for so many entrepreneurs. It was a huge help because the more people know how to show up and be a great joint venture partner, the better. But this is the part I want you to see. In terms of their results, how many JV partners? 35 and counting. 35 and counting. Over here, over 20 potential JV partners, talking further with JV chats. So here's the truth of the matter. The damn thing works, and it works incredibly well. Not entirely sure yet, but I would suspect that I got 5 right off the bat and an additional 10 within the first year. So anyway, get yourself registered. Once you're registered, I want you to share this with somebody else that you think it would make a monumental difference for. I give you my word, it will change their world. So it's JVology.com/jumpstart. Once you get registered, you'll be able to send it off. Now, here's the thing. Many of you have not yet actually participated in a joint venture, and that's perfect. That's all well and fine. We're at the early stages. But if you want to actually share this and learn what it's like to, number one, get signed up as a JV partner, what it's like to get and to use what we call swipe copy, what it's like to play along behind the scenes, when you register on the thank you page, it's going to say, hey, do you want to actually share this with other people? And would you like the opportunity to make money while you're learning how to joint venture? And if the answer to that question is yes, then just sign up as one of our partners and be sure that you use your specific affiliate link when you're sharing the process. Okay, let me get that screen. There we go. Get back to full screen. Okay, so a couple of things. You've got the overview. You understand how it's going to work, all those pieces. Now, let me talk about a little bit of strategy that can make a monumental difference for you, which is this. Oh, you gotta figure out a system to follow up with the right people. Now, again, we're going to teach you this upstream model, this downstream model. That's going to work beautifully. But here's the piece. From the upstream and the downstream model, your next step is to initiate conversations and meetings and build relationships with the people who are your best upstream and downstream partners. So from that perspective, I want you to do a couple of things. Number one, promise yourself. In fact, I would even set a couple of days aside, not this week, but next week, for those appointments and for those connections. So just get 2 days cleared off, book them out, and make sure that you're in a great spot for that. Now, when you're doing this, I want to be very clear about this. We are huge fans of building relationships in this process. It's like, we don't need, one more transactional process of, hey, just let me send that link. What we really want to do is build relationships. So when those meetings transpire, here's a hint. Be clear about what the meeting is. Be clear about how you perceive and understand that person's business. Do you think that they're upstream from you, meaning that they can send clients to you? Do you think they're downstream for you? Do you think that you could send clients to them? How do you perceive this could work? The other part to this is be very clear about how ready you are in the process, so that it'll help people vet, it'll help people filter, it'll help people strategize about who are they going to meet with first, what are they going to do first, how is that going to work? Now, I see, by the way, a bunch of people have joined us as well. If you want to come over and actually ask me a question about the challenge, you can just click on the video. It's going to take you to the broadcast page. Say hi over in the chat window. It's all good. Now, in setting those appointments, you should recognize upstream and downstream. And I would strongly suggest, and we'll talk more about this in some of the Q&As and some of the additional training videos we're going to do in during the week. But here's the thing. Be clear about your level of readiness and your experience. And what that means is this. If you are still at the stage of trying to figure out what your offer is going to be, what is your product service experience, if you're still at the stage of I'm trying to get enough satisfied customers to get 5 or 10 testimonials, then we would call you eager and willing. Okay, you're eager and willing. You're not ready, you're eager and willing. It's 100% fine, and tons of people will support you if you're eager and willing, as long as you're transparent about that. So you got to understand where you are. The next stage is that we're in process, and what that means is I'm setting up all of the tools and the resources for this to occur. I'm writing my swipe copy. I'm getting all the affiliate links. I'm doing all those sorts of things. So we're in the process of managing this idea of JV invitations and having a compelling and great offer and the technology to support that process. Okay. So those folks are in process. Those guys are ready to do something fast. It's like they get the right JV partner, and we could have deals, webinars, podcasts, emails, all those sorts of things. They could be happening in a matter of hours and days if you're really in that spot. It's like, great, I just got to get you an affiliate link and I'm going to write some copy. Done. And then there are what we're going to call the ready gang. And the ready gang is simply this. It's like if you had a conversation with them and I said, hey, I'm ready to mail for you, then I could sign up as a partner. You'd have me all of the resources, and that would happen in a matter of minutes, and we could get a deal done like that. So think of it from this process, from this perspective. Where are you really in the process? Are you eager and willing? Are you in process, or are you ready? No good, no bad, no right, no wrong to any of those things. It's just important for us to, number one, recognize our stage and to be able to communicate that authentically. Okay. That's the next piece. Now, in the Facebook group, when you register for the challenge, you're going to be invited over to the Facebook group. There's a ton of support ideas in there. Charisse Alexander was one of our top 3 winners from the challenge we did just a month ago. Shared a spreadsheet and a bunch of tools and resources that she has used for keeping track of people. And the honest to goodness truth is you want to keep track of people. So I just want to say as straight as I possibly can, do your best to come up with a system that works for you. There's a funky little spreadsheet that's fantastic and awesome in the group, so go check it out. And then when you go through this, do your own work, build meaningful relationships, and follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. So here's what's going to transpire, and then I'll let you get back to your Mother's Day evening, is that you're going to get yourself ready first thing tomorrow morning to go and watch the video. It'll be in your email inbox. Okay, it'll say day 1 of the challenge. So go watch that, do the worksheet, and get into the Facebook group. The faster, the better. The faster, the better. The other thing I should just let you all know is that in the Facebook group there are specific. Let me just get this up. There are specific posts and locations for posts. So if you post outside of the thread, One moment, gang. There we go. Whoa, that's a lot. Yes, we're covering a fair amount of ground, but we're going to go through it each and every day. All of the details are in the email. All of the tools and everything you require are also over in the Facebook group. But this is the part I wanted to show you. It is important for us to be able to track and organize, and by the way, measure for the prizes that we are going to be giving away, where the posts are. So let me just share this screen here again. Okay, so you can see on the Facebook group that it says right at the very top, and each day we will post at the very top as an announcement the thread. So for introductions, we need everyone to actually do the introductions in this thread. If you do it elsewhere, we aren't going to be able to find it, and frankly, we won't approve it. Okay, so if you're trying to get an independent post, that won't work. What this does is, number one, it gives you specific instructions. It lets you go through, and this is one of the things you should probably already be doing tonight if you have a little bit of extra time. You can begin to go through and look at the comments and the introductions so you can begin to see who's in what sort of businesses and how do they fit. So Gloria Pierre, Sue Prever. So there's 46 comments in there. So go in and begin to see who's who and what's what. Say hello, introduce yourselves, and have a ton of fun. Gloria was just saying, I forgot to mention that this is my second time doing this challenge. It had so much good learning that I didn't have time to absorb it all. And here's the truth of the matter is that JVs are pretty easy once you get there, but the structure, the training, and the tools is a little bit, it takes some time. Let me just, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you as well, James. I'm just getting your comment up there. His info is excellent. Join Jay. Thank you. I appreciate that. And not only is the info great, but the community and the people, just like Jason, are absolutely outstanding. So make sure you put it in the right post. If you don't put it there, we're not going to approve it. So that's a very important piece. And it also then doesn't qualify for all of the prizes. So you want to make sure it's in the right spot. So the last piece of advice I have in terms of getting the most out of the challenge is this. Invest time in the people. Okay, so the actual challenge isn't going to take you very long at all every single day. But what you want to really do is to put some strategy and some time in identifying the right people, building relationships with the right people, and seeing how you can serve and support the right people. And that, my friends, is really all I wanted to say about getting you ready for tomorrow morning when the fun, the entertainment, the partners, and the training begin. So jump in, have fun, and it is my honor and privilege to serve and support you. Krista, our Director of Member Care, she is going to be in the Facebook group like crazy. If you have any questions or any require any support or any of those pieces, you can reach out directly to Krista, and she will take fantastic care of you. So on that note, I'm going to go back out, hang out with my dear wife and amazing mother, and the rest of you do the same, but be ready tomorrow morning to get to work. Have a fantastic night. We will see you all soon. Bye-bye.